This is Chris Hansen.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
It's your favorite basketball player, Tyler Hansbrough.
This is Jamie Hudson.
This is TJ Houshmandzadeh.
And I'm going to let y'all know something.
Duke sucks and Duke will always suck.
You're listening to
It Just Makes Sense.
It Just Makes Sense.
Listen, this podcast is not about being right. It's about being entertaining and sometimes right.
The Fat Boy episode.
We're not drinking. Oh, man, we have to supplement it
What
somehow.
episode do we have where we don't talk about food?
That's true.
I
They
will-
said in the comments.
It makes my skin crawl out of my fucking skin. It is disgusting watching this fucking guy play. It's not about how many calls he gets, but it's how he gets those calls. I hate that I don't want to cheer for him because of how he does that. I mean, it is ridiculous. We're back. Clear eyes.
Full heart!
Can't lose.
Play like a champion!
3:30. I haven't eaten since noon.
I haven't eaten in
I was
3
gonna
hours.
fucking die.
I haven't eaten in 3 hours. Wow. Intermittent fasting and not drinking. What a
Dude,
guy.
I had brunch at noon. It's 1:30. I gotta fucking eat,
I
dude.
I didn't have very much. I just made myself a pack of ramen
It was
with
a
an egg.
I thought that fat ass
With an
crunch wrap
egg.
from Sunday is gonna last you like
Dude.
3 days.
Yeah.
That was so fucking good.
Shout out
Like a
Guadalajara
quesadilla
food
inside of a
truck.
crunch wrap inside of another crunch wrap.
Yeah.
I will be honest though. I had that bulldog ramen. Have you had that before, Miguel?
I know what you're talking. I know what brand you're talking about. No.
And holy shit, it's very spicy, and
Is that the stuff that's in a bowl, pre-made bowl already?
you can get it that way. But I have the packs,
Gotcha.
and it's the black pack for anybody referencing. And it's
Korean ramen.
and it's very spicy, but it's very, very good. However, this is the third pack I've eaten, and the first 2 times weren't that bad as far as shits, but this time I got here, Pete, and thank God
My front door was open.
Lindsay was here. 'Cause
You shit right when you arrived.
yes,
That was
and it was one of those where it like brought tears to my eyes.
sure. Oh, it hurt that bad.
Yeah,
and it just evacuated.
oh yeah.
Did
Violently.
you
was-
knock
it
on the
was
front
lava.
door, or did you go through
No,
the back?
I went around the back because it was one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe
Were
I,
you going to shit in my backyard?
No.
Okay.
Because when I got out of my car, I was like, oh, maybe I can hold it, like just chill in the backyard, you know.
But your body senses when available toilet.
Yeah, as soon as I stepped on the deck, it became like, oh, it's
Yeah.
going down. So I went to the back door, the normal back door, locked. Went to the bedroom or guest room, office, whatever,
Yeah.
back door. And I was like, if this is locked, I'm going to be fucked because it's going to take me a long time to get to the front door.
Was it unlocked?
It was unlocked.
Oh, wow. Look at us in our
So
security.
you didn't even have to rely on Lindsay.
No.
It was just unlocked.
No. And then I'm like walking in, I hear her calling Bo. So I'm like, hey, Lindsay. And she's like, oh my God.
Anyway, I got a shit.
And I was
I'll be
I was like,
back.
I'm sorry, I got to use your bathroom.
Bye.
Close the door.
She knows that.
Yeah.
She's experienced that. Not only with me, but herself. So
Yeah, but
it
but
happens everywhere.
it was lava. And
It's coming out like lava.
but
It's the
Lindsay held my
underwater
hand through the
volcano.
whole thing. So.
Yeah, she's very tender, loving, caring. So
Great bedside manner.
incredible. Incredible. Well, congratulations on your violent poop in my house. So,
Yeah, thank you so much.
So
You wiped the seats? Because it probably splattered everywhere.
right? Yeah, it was like a geyser. It
You
was
know,
like a.
it's one of those things where, when you've seen a toilet so splattered in the past, do you feel as responsible to clean your own splatter? No, you don't.
No.
Clean it.
But no, I made sure it was clean.
It was squeaky clean.
Made sure it was clean.
Wow.
But yeah. How was your guys' Memorial Day weekend?
Well,
Did you memorialize?
Sure, yeah.
Good.
We honored and remembered. We honored and remembered. It was kind of an interest. Gosh, like even though it was a long weekend, it felt like it was way too busy. And I didn't like that. Miguel and I went all domesticated, and we went to the peony farm. Yeah, exactly. Went to the peony farm. It was cute. It was sweet. We spent 45 minutes waiting for our food at In-N-Out Burger. So
It's not bad. It's a nice annual tradition of In-N-Out and Ashley's favorite flowers.
yeah, I mean, I think that like when you mentally prepare yourself to go to the In-N-Out and how long you're going to wait for it, you're like, okay, like traditionally, I'm not going to wait for this, and it's not. It's the people are going to come for me in the comments. In-N-Out is not worth that kind of wait. It's really not. It's good. It's not. It's not worth like that kind of a wait. I don't know if you agree. There's another restaurant with a cult following, which has an official date.
It's Friday.
Friday, Jollibee is opening up in Hillsboro. So.
But there's not a lot of people that are... Jollibee doesn't have the street cred of In-N-Out in this area.
You don't think it's going to be as busy for the first like little bit?
We're not in L.A. Like
It's going to be really busy.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't be busy, but it doesn't have the following of In-N-Out. Like we know about Jollibee, but I'm telling you that there's not enough of a Filipino demographic in Portland and Hillsboro that would know about Jollibee.
But I mean, like, I imagine it is popular amongst the entire Asian sector. Is that incorrect?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah,
so.
probably, but you're still talking about what? 6% of the fucking
there
city?
are a lot of Asians in Portland, that's for sure. But I do agree with Miguel. I think it's just a teeny bit too niche comparatively
Sweet
to In-N-Out.
spaghetti and ube.
Like there's a Jollibee at every block in like Sacramento and LA and everywhere else.
Yeah.
And that's like the same as In-N-Out. You go to Phoenix and you go to Scottsdale, you go to California, there's In-N-Outs everywhere.
Yeah, I remember when the In-N-Out opened down in Kaiser, and I was on the road. I think it was in Phoenix, and everyone was going crazy. 90-minute waits, this and another thing. We went after a Blazer game. We just like rolled up, totally empty.
Yeah. The only reason we're having to deal with the wait is because we have two.
Yeah.
We have, I mean, one's 5 hours away, and then we have one, and then we're about to have one in Ridgefield.
Yeah.
So there's only one, but imagine
There's
like
also one in Grants Pass. Don't forget about that.
that's what I meant. Oh, there's two in Southern Oregon.
Yeah.
Medford and Grants Pass.
They're real
Grants
big,
Pass is by far the best one to go to in Oregon because it's like a pass-through town, essentially.
sure, yeah.
It's not as busy.
I think Ridgefield is going to be the nicer one when it's open.
That'll be nice, like when you're on your way up and everything like that. So,
Yeah.
Oh, remind me, I need to get a dim sum Vancouver recommendation from you. Not now, but some other time. I'm calling it out
To
now.
your point, I completely disagree. I think In-N-Out's worth it.
You do?
Yeah, I think In-N-Out's worth it.
think it's very good.
I don't find a lot of. Well, I'm not a big like. Burgers and fries is not high on my list whenever I'm craving something.
Sure.
But I'm having a difficult time finding something better as fresh as they serve it.
Sure.
And the fact that the fucking prices are $19.95.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, we ate for $30 as a family of three.
Yeah.
And so, like, there is a freshness and a quality. And when it's that mass-produced, like, you know, I can go to a Burger King where there's no line and it's ass, you know.
Yeah.
But
And if you think about it too, we can bitch and whine about the wait, but they're so fucking efficient.
yeah.
It's quick. Like, to me, it's quick. Like, you are expecting already that you're going to be waiting. The line moves fast, and they're so quick when it comes to producing your food. It's really not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do
I
get through
agree.
it. Congratulations to them.
I agree. I don't
crazy.
think
It's
it's
wild.
bad at all.
I've also experienced feeling like shit after eating Five Guys, feeling like shit after eating Burger King and McDonald's. I've never felt anything bad after eating In-N-Out.
There you go.
And once you, at least for me, once I like figured out the ways you can modify your burger and stuff to make it exactly how you want, like In-N-Out burger just, and it's all, you always get what you expect every
I
single
don't think
time.
you've ever jacked up an order of mine either.
Never.
Yeah. Good for
They
them.
keep it simple. I
It
mean, the
tastes
menu is as
same,
simple as it gets.
no matter where you are.
I might be taking it back. It might be worth it.
It is very good.
Easily influenced.
Yeah, I know. Talk about the
Do you
peer
guys
pressure
get your
of it all.
burgers just straight up, or do you do like the animal style or chilies or anything
Grilled
like that?
onions for me.
So when I first heard
Animal fries.
people doing green chilies, I was really interested. I'm like, I'm gonna do that until I found out they're pepperoncinis. I thought it was like we're talking about green chilies.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Do
Yeah,
they do
it's-
mushrooms?
No, I don't think so.
Dude, they would have me if they also did.
I've
mushrooms.
always wanted to do like the off the menu shit, but like, you know, the 4 patties, and like I've had friends do the 8 patties, and I'm like, I just don't think I'm willing to do like a food challenge right now. Like I always get I'll get double animal style, and then I used to get animal style fries, but I like their fries so much that I just want them
just
plain and like dip it in ketchup or the sauce.
See, I do the animal style, but no cheese, just the sauce
just
and
the
the
sauce.
onions.
Yeah.
And it's way better.
Shakes are underrated.
I feel like they could be a little bit better on their sauce variety, but
Yeah, they just
you
got
know.
the spread.
They just got the spread. It would be nice if they had like their version of.
I
the
think it's
Chick-fil-A
part of their
Such
appeal
a
though.
Fat boy episode.
We're not drinking, but yet, oh man, we have to supplement it.
What
somehow.
episode do we have where we don't talk about food?
That's true. That's true.
They said in the comments.
I will say I went to Matthew and Lauren's wedding.
Yeah,
Shout
I
out
was gonna
them.
ask you about that.
It was in Texas.
Yeah, you flew to Texas on a Thursday. The wedding was a Friday, and you were home Saturday. That's insane.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
However, I did get in that like 24-hour period that I was there. I did get Texas barbecue and Wagyu.
Wow, good for you.
And Wagyu at a wedding, which is pretty fancy.
Wagyu at the wedding.
Yes.
Snap. And they were
beefed yourself out.
rolling cigars and
Yes,
everything.
It was a very fancy wedding.
That's great.
Yeah.
What was the rehearsal dinner that you missed? Because you got stuck in like some terrible traffic or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was terrible. So I missed the rehearsal, but we made it to the rehearsal dinner, and it was like Texas barbecue.
Oh,
it was
so
that-
you made it to the dinner.
Yep.
You just didn't.
Yes.
You figured out how to walk on the wedding day.
Yes.
Got it.
Absolutely. And I handed over the rings at the right time.
Congratulations.
Not a concern.
No, that was just my only responsibility besides the speech. I
Yeah,
guess,
you
but-
guys called me the night before.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was like, what, are you just trying to do this goodnight bro trend? Which we have an update on that with Jermon. But it was
He
nice.
absolutely was.
Was he actually?
Yes, he absolutely was. Trying
I did
to
the
do that.
bit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we did the bit.
He was like, "Should I do it to Pete?" And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead."
When it's much earlier, and you know he's not. He's
I mean,
not
it's
about
the
to go to
night
sleep.
before his wedding. He's feeling giddy. Yeah, dude. Of course,
Yeah.
I support anything you want to do.
Did you guys snuggle in the bed? Like, you stayed in his room that night?
Yeah, we shared a bed.
Big spoon? Little spoon?
It's like 2 men laying in coffins. Yeah.
Just... Did he ever steal your
sex?
CPAP or no? He did threaten the CPAP stealing.
No, but he did say that in the middle of the night, I gave him a nice elbow to the chest.
Like, was it just like an incidental elbow?
Yeah, he said I was like itching or something, and then I just went like boom.
Violent. You're a violent sleeper.
I am.
Yeah.
Speaking of itching,
Yeah, itchy bear over here.
Accidental elbow. No, Braxton just woke up and go, "Fuck this guy."
Lindsay does that to me if I'm snoring. She'll like jostle the hell out of me.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad it was him. I'm glad I haven't done that to Jera. She hits the shit out of me in my sleep. Though.
Yeah, exactly. So, does Ashley assault you when you're unconscious?
Oh, did I show you this already, Pete?
What?
Matt got me this as a best man gift.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
That's beautiful. I love that. Is that
I like it a
what
lot.
rock is that? A topaz?
Turquoise.
Turquoise?
Yeah.
Yeah, topaz.
Turquoise a rock?
It's a
gem?
Gem,
Yeah.
I would say,
It's
or a mineral.
a mineral? Possibly.
Yeah.
We'll ask the well,
But shout out Matt, very
yeah.
nice gift.
I
Congrats,
thought
bruh.
you're showing me that. We're showing a lot of leg on the episode. We get a nice little the dog tat is out.
He's barking.
These legs are barking. So
Totally
it
forgot
is
you had
short
that.
season. Yeah, it's just
Summertime.
peekaboo.
So now all the new shorts you're buying are extra.
Yeah, I
Extra
try
short.
to make sure I hike him up just a little bit.
You got those.
So his literal dog tag can show.
You're seeing a lot of package there from Braxton. So we're gonna get
My little
community
meats.
guidelined. There you go.
The front is just all foreskin. The shaft is actually hiding to the side.
Yeah, it's that time of year where we can wear shorts now. It's lovely. But yeah, it was I got myself a new smoker. Very excited about this. Man stuff. Early Father's Day present. The deals were happening for Memorial Day.
Does that mean you're not going to get a present on Father's Day weekend?
No, I won't. But that's fine. I mean, it was like, why wait, And then you miss the deal. So, but yeah, brand new from Lowe's. Shout out Lowe's for the deal.
Take a lot of photos of it now before you
For absolutely
Peterize that
wreck it.
smoker.
Yeah. I at least have the cover, which has not shown up yet. I bought it the day of.
In 6 months, the lid of that smoker will be back by the neighbors. The grate will be caked up.
I start every journey like I'm going to take such good care of something, and then the first rain comes, and I go, it's too late now.
Are you planning on using it where it sits right now? Or are you
Yeah.
planning on moving it down to where like everything is?
No, I think I'm going to put it up where it is now on that deck because it's away from the house. I don't want the smoke to come up through the windows. So
Gotcha.
that's kind of the reason why that's there now. So,
But that area is not covered, right?
It's not, no, but I think I'll eventually cover it. So, and then that area will be.
What's the first thing you're going to cook?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
I feel like a pork butt or ribs are going to be the first thing, maybe at the same time. But it'll be a variety of pork.
Really?
Yeah.
When I hear pellet smokers, it's the best chicken always.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Because there's no flavor. Like best chicken I've
that'll
ever
be
had
second.
is best chicken I've ever had is from a Traeger. Just because there's no flare ups, it's always cooked perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The cookout that we did, those were some good chickens.
They were.
Yeah. So, and then I'll eventually do the brisky.
Got to.
I'm coming for you.
Do it.
Coming
please.
for your brisky. So
Do it.
But yeah, it was such a manly thing. I got absolutely tore up in my yard. So I need to hire your boy Reese.
We need, I'm completely down because I won't be a part of it and I just want to be a judge. I'm completely down for a brisket cook-off from the people who consistently make it. So it'd be like you two, Jordan,
Mitchell. He's done a
Mitch.
few.
Yeah,
Andy.
let's give him a choice though, because Mitch has done a couple, but he might also want to be a judge because the three most consistent meat smokers are you two and Jordan. Mm-hmm. So even if we had, because 4 briskets might also be overkill.
We would have to take it to.
We'll do 3 briskets and just
Jeff
do a
and Gail's
blind,
house
like
or
a blind
something.
judging, just to see.
Ooh, a
Yeah, you'd have
blind
to do
judge.
blind, and you can go to Winco and just get points.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can get an 6-pound point.
No, I want the skill of cooking the whole thing and how to not dry out one side and just see. And we're just gonna keep it straight protein because it's gonna be so fucking easy with how many times we've had your guys' dishes to know what sides belong to who.
Oh, sure.
I would be able to tell what sides he made and what sides
Well,
you
yeah,
made.
I mean, we'll still make sides, but you don't have to
yeah,
judge.
but
the
we'll
sides.
judge the brisket.
Yeah, why doesn't
'cause-
everybody else bring sides?
Yeah, you guys do the sides, and we'll do the
This
meats.
hypothetical.
in this.
I think a 3-person
scenario.
brisket blind judging cook-off would be
I'm down.
money.
That sounds like a September event.
It does sound like a September event. 100 days until the NFL plays. So 100 days until the NFL.
Like
OTA
preseason.
starting. No, I think
Like opening?
until opening. Yeah. So I think that there's an early first game though. But
We're also
I-
going to have to
100
do.
days.
We're also going to have to have. It's going to be a little bit different with the fantasy league. We're going to have to do a draft much earlier
Yeah, because
we're going to have to risk injuries because Naoko is going to be really close to having a baby.
Yeah. Could you imagine just a live draft during labor?
Dude. All I know is we're most likely going to
auto-pick.
we're most likely going to have an early draft, and it's to cater to her. If any of my players get injured, 3 weeks leading up to opening day,
we need
Naoko's getting a text.
You need to trade me right now.
I mean, we could do it closer to the date. We just couldn't do it at her place, and she might not come. So
That's fair.
For those reasons, I'm okay with doing it early.
Yeah, sure.
And I mean, how often does that happen, right? Where the 1-1 pick gets injured.
The first time we
Oh
do
my
it.
god.
The first time we do it.
Austin and I got
and
so
it seems like that
screwed.
happens all the fucking time.
Oh my gosh. Austin
Oh,
and
God, I got Jameer
screwed.
Gibbs. Oh,
It's-
by the way.
It's always a top 5 guy.
I had Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Just garbage last year. A-Town. It was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, Austin Eckler, every year he's been like a top 5 guy, seems
Yeah.
to piss down his leg.
Yep. I don't think I've had a good, successful first-round pick in a really long time.
Look at us talking ball.
In a really long time. I can't even. Oh, who was my? I don't. My running back a couple years ago was just absolute garbage.
Priest Holmes.
No. Either way, great talk. But the other thing that I was going to say, I forgot to mention it a couple of weeks ago, but I trusted Miguel with my child for a few hours.
I've heard.
For a parents' night out.
No one in this group is more experienced with a child than me. As far
No
as
one?
years
Can
watching
you-
kids.
can you tell
Not
us-
any of the parents
Can you-
have the hours that I have with
Give
children.
Give us the resume.
Yeah.
Give us the resume.
You want like amount of hours being responsible for children like my cousins and my nieces and my nephews. You guys aren't even close. He's not even close with a 6-year-old. Not even close.
Well, either way, I was going to thank him once again for doing that. The one thing I was going to talk about, so we went to a parents' night out for Brody's school.
Did you win any of the auctions?
No. I was trying to do what was it?
A wine thing?
Maybe it was the wine thing. Well, maybe it was the wine tour, or it was like a Winterhawks thing. God, what was I bidding on? It was like right at the end where I got outbid by. I was super pissed off, and now I can't even remember what I was bidding on.
Mariners?
No. Was it?
continue.
Yeah. Anyways, the point of this though was that they had this $20 to be able to blind pick a bottle of wine. So all the wine bottles were wrapped up. You within it, you could have like a $10 bottle, or the Primo one, there was an $80 bottle of wine. Wow. And so I didn't understand it the first time, and so I would go up there, and they had little stickers on it, pink, white, and red, and I didn't realize that was for the color of which the wine was, so I picked a rosé, which was like a $23 bottle, so I was $3 up. That was great. But then I was like, okay, I'm going to go and do this again, because now I understand the game. So I put in another $20, and I went for a red, because the $80 bottle was absolutely going to be a red wine. And I grabbed one, and I go, I think this feels like a twist top. So I set it back down, and I grabbed another one. And I opened it up, and it had a wax top, and it was super bulbous. It was the $80 bottle.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. It was the one and only $80 bottle. So,
And there was a sign.
I made out good.
There
with
was a
it.
sign he ignored that said, "Do not fill up the bottles and cheat." And
Don't
clearly,
fondle the
he's
bottles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but anyway, so
Did
thank you
guzzle
again.
it down?
No, we haven't drank it yet, but I figured
What if
that
the
maybe I would
wax-
share it with Miguel.
What if
because
the
he-
wax top one was a maker's mark?
This is an $80 bottle of wine.
Yeah. So, there was like a golf trip. There was a.
Why didn't you win something for us?
It's a good question. I was probably feeling a little bit frugal, but It was interesting because like a lot of the things went for under. Should auction items go for over, or is everyone just trying to get a deal? Right? Like there's the estimated retail value of things.
I would say over.
Right? Like
I mean, you hope that it goes over.
none of them went over. Everyone was trying to get a deal.
But I think in a fundraising type, like
Which
in
this is, though. It's for the school.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Where it's like parents, you're probably looking under,
Just like in
or
this-
like a corporate one under, probably.
You haven't been watching Studio with
No.
But gosh, that the auction for the hospital where Seth Rogen outbids
Yeah, just because he hated the guys. He wanted a $100,000 golf trip just to say fuck you.
with Scotty Scheffler. This isn't a spoiler. Scotty Scheffler was going to be on this golf trip, and these doctors were all ragging on him for being this movie executive, thinking that his job was important. So he just purposely outbid them to fuck with those guys.
Yeah, the bidding was up to like $120,000, but they were like these douchey fucking medical professionals. And Seth Rogen,
They were
kind of
so excited.
He's a studio head, but they were going at each other because Seth Rogen thinks that his job is important, and people are
does.
like, "Dude, we are doctors. There's we are needed," and he goes, "Yeah, but there's a lot of our jobs that are similar and all this." So they were just kind of jawing at each other. So those guys have been talking about this golf thing, and the bidding went up so high, and they're like, "Yeah, so and so says they got $150,000 to burn." This is very much like Cabo when I got up on
it's
stage.
exactly what it was. Yeah.
And then Seth Rogen's just outbidded them like last minute
$210,000
just to say fuck you.
So
That's
anyways,
nice fuck you money though.
It was. You know what is also nice? Fuck you energy, maybe not money. Is the YouTuber, the German YouTuber Tom Kopke. You know him. You love him. Is in German. I'm sure I mispronounced it. Is a back-to-back winner of the cheese rolling competition in England. Remember last year we were talking about this.
What a resume builder.
He won last year the Gloucestershire cheese rolling event. He won it for the second year in a row. And the woman who won was in her first year. She was a 20-year-old student, and at the end she goes, "I didn't even like cheese." So she won. She didn't even like cheese.
Why'd you show up?
Can you imagine this guy applying for like a software engineer position at a high-end tech company, and then his resume just says 2-time winner of cheese rolling? I don't know why you wouldn't fucking consider me,
Two-time
dude.
winner. Put that
There's
on
just
the
a
resume.
section at the bottom that says fun facts.
Why do you feel like you'd be an asset to the company? 2-time winner of
Two-time
cheese
winner.
rolling,
Dude,
dude.
I've been known to chase the cheese.
You want revenue? Get the cheese.
I guess
chaser.
this year was more dangerous because it was dry. Last year was a little bit muddier, so there was the
So it was
cushion
aged
there.
cheese.
So, yeah, I worked for this.
A
I
little more
risked
brittle.
my life. It's my cheese, says the guy. So,
It's brittle cheese.
my cheese.
Brittle.
So
Not muddy, brittle.
back-to-back winner
Little
there.
brittle 2 times.
Since you were all wondering.
Big fucking news, New York Times. Brittle.
Peter is just doing. He's just doing this for himself. It's like we're not even here.
Yep. Just letting
He
you
probably
guys,
was just scrolling. He goes, "Oh, cheese,
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys get this out of your system, really, is what it's all about.
cheese rolling."
Let's check in on the score of the... Well, it's a 7-point game. The Indiana Pacers are possibly about to take a 3-1 series lead,
It'd be over.
which would put both of my teams that I have a $100 bet on each in the driver's seat. 75% of the time, that team goes on to win. So I feel like it should be more than that, but I heard it was just 75% when you're up 3-1 in a conference championship series.
So you're feeling pretty pretty good.
Feeling pretty nice right now.
Yeah,
So.
I mean it's a nice
Be a real shame.
it's a nice $200 win, but are you really excited that that's the matchup we're gonna get
No, I
as
mean,
basketball fans? Or like I watch it. I watch every game. I don't rely on stats. An Oklahoma City Indiana finals matchup. I mean, I might as well just start watching fucking European soccer, even though I'm not into it.
yeah, Liverpool just taking home something.
Yeah, that is definitely the most white bread matchup. It seems.
The Pacers versus the Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah.
But shout out to small markets getting their chance. People say they want parity. Well, you got it.
Yep, and we talked about last week about the fact that this is going to be the first time that either team could possibly win a championship. So, but I mean, I think that like there's intrigue with what Tyrese Halliburton has done, especially in this playoff series. What's wild is in this game, this could have been over tonight, but then the Pacers went on and absolutely blew a 20-point lead. This is the 6th time in the playoffs this year that a team has come back from 20 points down. That hadn't happened in any playoff series combined for like the last 5 or 10 years. And now this playoffs alone, you've had 6 20-point comebacks in a playoff series.
And I'm pretty
It's wild.
sure the Pacers have been involved in 4 of them.
Yeah, they've been involved. They've won 3 of them.
Yeah.
Involved in the 4th, in which they did not win.
Actually,
So,
I don't have a problem with Indiana. I like the Pacers. If I'm cheering for a small market, it's them. I mean, anything but Oklahoma City. I mean, someone just fucking stop this. Stop the fucking madness.
I think, outside of Oklahoma City, I think that commercial that Chet Holmgren did that ran incessantly where he sang that song with his friend
yeah.
really did a disservice for him and the Thunder for the public eye, because for that reason and for that reason alone, I do not like him, and I do not
like him at all.
I do not like the Thunder.
Them being a small market team and them being built the way that Sam Presti Pressey did.
Presti, yeah.
I mean, it's fucking gold. It's perfect.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
very
it from-
impressive.
You get it from draft or a lot of trades, and you build it from draft picks and free agents and all this. You should everyone should be cheering for them, but
you're not.
who the fuck is?
think that-
What argument do you have for them? What argument do you have that they are a fun team to watch?
Well, I think that you have a dynamic player in Shai. He does get a lot of calls. Absolutely. And that's, there's all kinds of memes and things of him in bubble wrap. And, it is apparent the amount of calls that he gets. I appreciate the defense that this team brings. I appreciate the youth of this team, and I appreciate the homegrownness of this team. I think that a team that does that, I enjoyed the Warriors run because of how they built the team. I enjoyed the Bucks because of how they built their team, and I enjoy this team because of how they've done it. They went into the absolute squalors and then absolutely pulled off not just getting the draft picks, but possibly getting the best trade, I guess now for the Clippers, the worst trade of all time in getting not just the picks, but Shai. I love just the way that they have built the team. I don't necessarily love the narrative that is then surrounding what happens with Shai, because I think that there is merit in the amount of calls that he gets.
It's not a fucking narrative. It's a fact. Because all the good things you just mentioned, they are completely canceled out by watching them play. By him. Just that one player. Because everyone who's going to argue for him, if you notice the common trend of people that are arguing for Shai, these are people who don't watch games. Their argument, this is a perfect example of there's more to the story than fucking stats. There's more to the story. There's more to the debate than looking up statistics. Oh, he was only averaging 8 free throw attempts, but Kobe had 10, Jordan had 11, Giannis had 12. There's more to the story than stats, but because these people that argue for him, it's just because they're scrolling on their fucking phones and seeing all this and seeing, okay, this is the one I agree with. Cool, I'll go with that. You actually watch the games. Like, how many of you actually has watched every second of every fucking playoff game?
No, I haven't.
I have. You know how frustrating it is to watch him fucking play? It makes my skin crawl out of my fucking skin. It is disgusting watching this fucking guy play. It's not about how many calls he gets, but it's how he gets those calls. Like, you are talking about guys that are hard to stop. Kobe was hard to stop. Shaq was hard to stop. Jordan was hard to stop. Were they getting calls as superstars? Absolutely. You'd be a fucking idiot to deny that. But a lot of those calls, you were forced to foul them because they were such freak athletes you couldn't do anything else. He's not a freak athlete. He's a great fucking player. He knows how to get to his spots, and he knows how to not only get to his spots, but he's almost automatic mid-range. It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
But I hate that I don't want to cheer for him because of how he does that. You can pull up any fucking game right now, and I'll point to you highlights of how he would do this and then fall 10 feet away and then get those calls. Or how he would hook your arm and then flail and get that fucking call. I mean, it is ridiculous. I fucking hate watching him play. I thought I hated Harden more. And then I questioned myself. I'm like, is this a recency bias thing?
Sure.
So I pulled up some of the Harden ones that I hated when he was with Houston, MVP year. I fucking hate this guy more. I fucking hate watching Shai way more. Because I noticed the difference between the two of them. Harden did a lot of like hooks where like he would sway and catch a foul. But Harden, the main problem with Harden was traveling. That's what I fucking hated.
Yeah.
He'd take 17 steps and make a three.
So who's more performative?
Shai.
You think so?
Oh, hands down, not even close. Because another thing that's fucking stupid, everything he's doing, if you dial back 3, 4, 5 years ago, all the Kevin Durant swim moves, and even Steph started doing that.
Yeah.
Whenever you make contact as an offensive player to try and fish for a foul, do you remember them ending that? Do you remember them saying, that's going to be an offensive foul if you start doing that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what happened? They just stopped doing it. They just stopped calling it all of a sudden when it came to this fucking guy.
Yeah.
They just stopped doing it. They're like, oh, we'll give it to him. So no fucking shit. He averages 38. He goes to the free throw line 14 times a game. He still scores 26 without free throws. But that fucking grin he has when he gets to the free throw line and just hooking everyone.
Shit-eating grin.
Just someone stop him. It's not going to be Minnesota. And if this team wins the championship, this will be the worst finals worst team that's won the championship because of him in all my years watching the fucking NBA.
Do you think it's Shai problem or a league problem where he's taking advantage of the rules that are in front of him, which I agree is frustrating and it's annoying to watch players like that. But at the end of the day, he's working within the bounds that he's given. You can't knock a guy, especially if he's getting to a point where he's so good at what he's doing. He is voted as
I don't
MVP.
deny that this is a don't hate the player, hate the game situation.
Yeah.
Because the league, it's no secret that the league fucking sucks. That's why the players manipulate the fucking league.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
Game the game.
it doesn't mean that I don't have the right to. He's the one I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I can't.
You gotta have a scapegoat.
I can't fucking stand it. So if he's my scapegoat, he's the best scapegoat I've ever had.
But
because there's fucking facts and hours of videos of him doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the fucking league allows him to do this. And what are we gonna do about the fucking league? I mean, they're literally giving it to him.
I suppose that like the gamesmanship within the game mixed in with the other things that I talked about almost like balance it out. because I don't like that, and I've always been a proponent or a shit talker against Harden, against Chris Paul, and everything. I just don't feel the same way about Shai, and maybe it's just because of the way that the team is constructed, the defense that they have. I mean, it's like to be able to talk about, it's not as if Anthony Edwards has been bad. He's been stopped by the defense that they've brought. And I just kind of wonder, like, at a certain point, how teams can finally figure out how to work against all of these things. There's got to be something. I'm not the guy to tell people how they can stop something like that, but you have to stop the best player on the court from beating you. That's what happened whenever the Blazers were in the playoffs. It was just like, just contain Dame and CJ, and then they were done.
That's the problem, though, to me, is like, I will not take credit away from the Thunder team holding Anthony Edwards. First of all, if you score 14 on a fucking do or die game, that's on you.
Yeah.
Randall scores like 7 or fucking 11, whatever. So they were stopped. That is not something where they just shot bad. They shot terribly. No, they were stopped. They were defended well. But if you are going to go back to every superstar or everyone that the NBA has labeled, we want this person to be the face of the league, which they like to anoint people to be the face of the league. You see that every year with who wins MVP. The criteria for MVP changes every fucking year.
Yeah.
How come Shai got it? Oh, because he led his team to the number 1 seed in the West. I don't know. Is MVP about your team record? Or is MVP about the best stat to me with MVP is your plus minus when you're on the court and when you're not on the court?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Jokic's
Jokic was,
plus and minus, he was the fucking MVP.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Jokic also, I mean, for the magician that he is on the court, is not without his gamesmanship either.
Yeah.
And I don't want this to be like a whataboutism here.
Everyone has gamesmanship. The thing with Shai is it's so ridiculously obvious, and it's phantom not being touched. There's gamesmanship where you flop.
Yeah.
Because the closest that Shai would get to would be like some of the shit LeBron would pull.
Yeah.
But Steph, Kobe, Reggie Miller, Michael Jordan, Jokic, they would, if there's like an arm out there, they would make contact.
Yeah.
I hate that too.
And it just,
Harden did that too.
Yeah.
But with him, we're talking about not being touched and falling.
Yeah. To me, it ruins the flow of the game as well, especially when you're getting like down to the wire. It's just like absolutely like a momentum killer when you're like
I was
trying to
gonna
get
ask,
into a
is
good
that
game.
kind of the heart of the gripe? Is that, it's creating a unwatchable product that doesn't have flow to it?
Me,
it's not fun at that point.
Yeah.
To me, it's unwatchable.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unwatchable because it's not. It's all manipulating the game, and it's not basketball anymore.
I'm sure it brings about a lot of reviews and.
Like, do me a favor. For their game, the game 5 tomorrow, just watch the whole game. Just fucking watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing, because you will see at least 3 or 4 Shai calls where he would have this much contact with another player. And
there's nothing.
He'd fall 50 yards, and there would be fucking nothing, and he would get that call every fucking time.
And once the seed has been planted, and I've been in this situation before, once it happens, there's just absolutely no turning back. Like, there is no justification or anything, and I just haven't had that with Shai the way that you have.
Because
I mean, I've watched him for years, but I mean, like, I think that to your point, this playoffs, like, I mean, I'm just not seeing it the way that.
I mean, it's been happening all season, but
Yeah.
I've actually like watched every playoff game, and just in the last 3 games alone, you can count over 10. Over 10. There was one where he split 2 defenders and fell, wasn't touched. They called a foul. They challenged it, and everyone's like, this is so fucking ridiculous. Even the Oklahoma bench was like, oh yeah, that's getting overturned. No one touched him. There's one where he drove to the basket, but instead of going to the basket, he felt that Randall's jersey touched him.
Yeah.
So he fell all the way, threw himself all the way to the fucking crowd.
So the NBA and the officials need to be better.
That is a 30-year conversation.
Right? I mean, it's like at a certain point.
And I think that also when we grew up playing basketball, it was, you finish at the hoop. That the style of basketball was always you're trying to get the ball through the hoop. And it seems that and it is equally frustrating to watch these players where it seems like that isn't their first priority. Like they want, instead of trying to finish and get an and one, they're okay with falling away and really selling the foul, whether it's actual contact or not. And that's annoying.
Think about this, Pete. You have all these superstars, and we can go all the way back in the day to current time. And you're wondering, okay, how come Shai's getting so much heat for everything that everyone has also done, right? Mm-hmm. And you are talking about some of the better competitors in the NBA. At a certain point, there's if you're a basketball player, especially at this level, there's some pride to it. So think about all the superstars we have now. There's absolutely a lot of gamesmanship where you can manipulate the game and the calls. So if they see that Shai could be so successful in doing it, how come not everyone's doing it? And here's your answer. Some of these guys have enough pride to go, I want to fucking hoop.
Yeah.
I want to hoop. My entire career is not going to be based on just selling fouls. All he is selling fucking this shit. Whatever he's doing. That's all he's doing. How come Anthony Edwards isn't doing this? The guy's actually trying to fucking hoop, dude.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, he has enough pride to go, I'm here to fucking play basketball. I'm trying to play.
I think that and to back up that point a little bit, and when people talk about the golden age or the good old days of basketball and everything, and what a lot of maybe the nostalgia, at least of this generation, admires, the late 80s into the 90s, maybe even early 2000s basketball, it was definitely a physical over a finesse game. And I think that there's an identity that people who, when you're growing up and you're playing, you're not a finesse player, especially guys like us. We're not finesse players. We're back to the basket, physical basketball. So to not even be able to do that now, especially not even touch a guy, you get frustrated by that because it's I don't respect that kind of basketball because I appreciate the physical style of basketball that of old. But, am I on anything there?
Yeah, no, you're right. But outside of the physical game in the 90s and the early 2000s, I'm saying in current time, if you're trying to make a justification for Shai to do what he's doing, his entire let's just use the playoffs. Let's just use the postseason. His entire MO is selling.
Yeah.
His entire MO is playing the game within the game. Yeah. But we still have superstars in the league. Do you see Steph doing this? Do you see KD doing
Never.
this? Do you see Anthony Edwards doing this? Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns? They're fucking hooping. So what's happening to this guy?
Yeah, well,
that's what makes him fucking unwatchable to me.
Cut off the loophole at that point. And I think that that has been, as I've seen the NBA and how I covered it for a decade and how I've seen it since I've been out of sports, I haven't liked the NBA product in a while. The NBA product has turned me off, not just off the court but on the court. And I think that you see that regardless. You're seeing that in the ratings, you're seeing that everywhere. And I don't think that I'm in the minority.
It's been on a decline
that
for a long time.
Yeah, and I think that there's a fundamental issue with certain things, and I think that you're talking about one of those glaring red flags.
The most frustrating thing about the NBA and why a lot of people, including me, prefer college over the NBA is back before the social media age we're in today, everyone would have to watch the games, right? And you had legitimately fun debates and arguments about who the best player is, who the best team is, and all that. Now, you can almost easily, from hearing one word from a person, you can almost easily group who actually watches the games and who just relies on memes on their fucking argument.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, the court of
Shai
public opinion.
averages 8.3 free throw attempts. I'm like, cool. What Instagram page did you see that on? Did you actually watch the fucking game?
Right.
Have you been watching the fucking games? Because I can't talk basketball with you when you're just watching or reading through Hoops and Sight or Meme Lord or whatever the fuck it is. Like, no. You don't watch any of these fucking games, and to you, you're just reading in your own bubble the narrative that fits your argument.
Yeah.
It's like Shai is unwatchable. It ruins basketball for me. It's absolutely unwatchable.
How will you just not turn on the finals then?
No, I'm gonna torture myself because I like watching basketball.
Just hate watch it.
I'm gonna be, if this goes the way that it's where I think it's going, I'm gonna be the biggest Pacers fan in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I'm leaning as well. I mean, the whole Halliburton story is a good one, especially with his dad. It sounds like he's going to be allowed to come back.
Yeah, so he was up in the suites and just not
To me,
allowed anywhere near
there's
the
a
court.
lot more reason for me to cheer for Indiana. It's Halliburton being called overrated by half the fucking league, and he's doing this. I love all of their players. There's not a single player there I don't like.
Yeah.
Fucking Obi Toppin, the Gonzaga kid, Halliburton, Mouse Turner, great. It's like when you think about small market and no like massive superstar, on paper it's them.
Yeah.
I have more reasons to cheer for them, and the connection to Reggie Miller, which is also great. You know, they've always been stopped by Jordan. I have more reasons to cheer for them than Oklahoma City just because of Shai. Because the thing is, I like some of the players in Oklahoma City. I love Dort. I've always loved Dort since ASU days.
Yeah.
The torture chamber.
Is that his nickname?
Yeah.
Oh. Probably their best defender. I don't really like Chet. Never liked Chet. I
spoke on my feelings.
Jalen Williams, but like Caruso and Dort, I fucking love those guys. But really, it's Shai that's making me not want to cheer for them. So I will watch it, and I will cheer for Indiana.
It is a bummer that we're not gonna probably have Zesty Cat in the NBA Finals. Gotcha,
For a lot of reasons, New York would have been
New York
lot
would have
more
been wild.
fun.
They
And
should be.
We hit on that a lot last week, but
Zesty Cat, man. I really
here
hope
we
he
are.
embraces the zest because.
I mean, I don't think he can avoid it.
Yeah, I mean, like if he
I don't think
fights it,
I don't think you can fight something that's not an act.
Yeah,
Right.
It's,
It's
just
who
so
he is.
deeply
Right.
embedded in him.
It's who he is.
but I mean, like he's like, talk between those two. And
But I
tried
think
to-
the only reason is because the actual Zesty Cat, which is who he is, keeps being pointed out. So he's getting self-conscious and he's going, "Yeah, I'm from New York."
yeah,
They're like, "No, you're not, dude. You're not. Just embrace who you are."
yeah. Anything else NBA before we move to a little bit in the college football playoff? This past week, you have the straight seeding is going to be this next year, the college football playoff. If you are number one in the rankings at the end of the year, you are the number one seed, and 2 through 12.
Is this what we wanted?
It is, yeah.
Kinda.
Kind of.
Kind of.
I think we wanted a reseed after the first round.
But the whole argument was we wanted to get rid of seeding at the top from the conference winners.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just do 1 through 12.
Because Boise State was ranked 9 or 10 at the end of the year, but they got a first round bye because of their win.
Can you pull up the seeding?
Yeah.
I remember
from like last year, you mean?
like how it would be with this new one.
Yeah, I've got it up here. One second.
Because I remember when this was released like a week ago, I remember seeing it, and I remember reading a bunch of shit where they were just like, okay, so Ohio State would have just had an easier path because they wouldn't have to go through Tennessee, Notre Dame, Oregon.
Right, because last year it would have been Oregon with a first round bye. They would have played the winner of Indiana and Boise State. Georgia number
far, I
two.
like it.
Georgia number 2 would have faced the winner of Tennessee and SMU.
So this is how it would have been with this current
Correct.
updated.
Yeah. Number 3, Texas would have played the winner of Ohio State, Arizona State.
So
And then
pretty close.
Penn State would have played the winner of Clemson and Notre Dame.
Pretty close to what we were wanting. But I still think that there's going to be some matchups, especially in that second round, where it's going to be like, oh, this is going to be a blowout.
Let's say Boise State moves on, Oregon plays them,
Yeah.
and then it would have been Penn State, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Notre Dame wins that.
So Oregon would have played the winner of that.
Yep.
Notre Dame made it to the finals. Oregon still would have lost to the Irish.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm just glad that a change has been made.
Yeah.
Because I think there was some obvious flaws in the system that they had. And obviously it was brand new and it's totally
Yeah.
fine. I'm just glad that they're showing a willingness to make changes quickly.
Yeah, that there is an adaptability. And with that, there is also another change potentially coming down the pipeline. Because as this has been updated, which I think has satisfied this outcry for now, there is now a significant pivot for a drumroll 16-team playoff in which you would call it a 5-11 model in which you would have 5 automatic qualifiers and 11 at large. This is a bunch of the Big Ten and the SEC. They get together. They start talking about how you can update this. And then within that, they're saying they want automatic. They want 4 automatics each or something. Or not 4 automatics, but they want 4 included within the 16 at minimum from each conference. And then, you can take 2 from the Big 12. You can take. They're already just trying to.
So here's what I take from it. The second part.
It's all rigged.
The second part of the trying to fight for the 16-team playoff. That's not surprising because that bitchin' and whining came from Alabama, Ole Miss, Colorado.
Sure.
I get that bitchin' and whining. Where I was wrong is I didn't know how much power Oregon held. Maybe Phil Knight or whatever, because the reseeding, all the bitching and whining was because of the overall number 1 seed ran into Ohio State too fucking early.
They did.
I just didn't think Oregon had enough fucking cred to make changes, but apparently enough people bitched and fucking moaned that they changed it. So I guess there are more Oregon fans that I expected nationwide.
Well, I think that
you cry enough, you get your way, right, Phil?
Oh, I think that
I don't think they were the only one that
you
was
saw
affected.
that happen, and it was kind of worst case scenario, I think, for the committee in that situation. You don't want your number ones, to go out like that. And to have all of your favored teams end up getting, because you seeded incorrectly in the first place, it just looks lopsided. So that then the casuals, if we're talking about the casuals, see, oh well, that seeding's weird. Why should I watch this if Ohio State is a 6 seed or something like that? So.
The one thing that separates football though as a sport is there's no luck here. You still have to play the fucking game. I don't give a shit where you're seated.
Yeah.
Win the fucking game, dude. You ran into a powerhouse. You ran into a powerhouse too early in your opinion, and you didn't deserve that. So that's why you didn't move on, and everything else, the structure was wrong because of that. I would fucking laugh my ass off next year if Oregon finishes the same, and they are the number 1 seed. Are okay, now you got what you want. Make sure you beat Indiana this time, and they fucking lose.
Oregon has an incredibly easy schedule.
What other changes are we going to make if you fail again, and now it's handed to you on a fucking silver platter?
Yeah, if Oregon does not go, they cannot lose more than 1 game with this this schedule they
Yeah,
have.
looking at their schedule, I mean, their over/under is 10.5.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's a very good line because, like, I mean, even still, I think you hammer the over
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
Ohio State also 10.5 wins. You know,
But as far as the 16-team playoff, more football, that's fine with me. I think getting into you're guaranteeing a certain number of teams from each conference, that seems a little slimy. Like, I don't care how many teams, obviously too many. I think 16 is the max you go here, but just put the best 16 teams in. That's all I would ask.
How do you
don't
get-
make it, we have to put 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC.
I'm curious.
that'd be lame.
How are you the number 1 overall seed? Absolutely dominated everyone the year before. How do you get a cupcake strength of schedule the following season?
well, I don't think that it was. These are all
It's random.
kind of pre-planned.
Because there's so many teams in the Big Ten now. It used to be you played every single team in your conference once, right? Or at least like 80-90% of them.
Yeah.
But now that there's 18 teams, I think, in the Big Ten, you only play 6 of them
yeah,
every year. So there's going to be some years like this year that it happened to be where we're not going to play Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State at all in the regular season.
What's their non-conference schedule?
We Oklahoma State is probably our biggest one. Non-conference, I think we play like Montana State to open the season.
yeah. I mean, it's a joke.
Or Oregon State is a non-conference.
Here,
this-
I'll give you 2025.
So this strength of schedule is going to really work against them when it comes to deciding in
Montana
December.
State, Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Oregon State, Penn State, at Penn State, by the way. Then they get Indiana, Rutgers, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, USC, Washington, and then possibly the Big Ten championship. But then if you're looking at the 2026, 26, you have Boise State, Oklahoma State, Portland State, Illinois, Michigan State, Michigan, Nebraska, Northwestern, UCLA, Washington, Ohio State, USC. I mean, that is a brutal schedule in 2026.
and that's the thing. It's
Assuming these teams,
yeah.
fit the bill.
But that's the thing with these new, quote unquote power conferences or super conferences, whatever. You're gonna have some years that are like, we can get to the playoff if we just, play 80% as good as we possibly can. Or there's gonna be other seasons where it's like, good God, it's gonna be a gauntlet.
But I mean, still, if and they have a December 1st deadline, by the way, to either keep this same format or to move it into this 5-11 total of 16 format. So December.
This new one
1st.
could be decided before the season starts?
Ooh,
it could.
I kind of like that. Let's do it.
So if nothing is new by December 1st, they'll keep the same structure. They could change it by December 1st. But the thing is if you extend it to 16 teams, you could be a 3-team loser or a 3-game loser,
That's the only part I don't like.
and you could be in the playoff. So I mean,
Because like a lot of the people that are probably teams that are pushing for this are the ones with 3 losses. And they're like, we could have gotten
Yeah.
in if this was bigger.
yeah, it's a
so what's the
bad year for Alabama to suck.
But we
Yeah.
all know that the same,
Yeah.
the teams that deserve to be there will end up being there in the end.
Yeah, but you're setting a bad precedent too because yes, it's great for us as football fans to watch more games. Cool. But if you expand it to 16 and then now you're able to get in 2, maybe 3-loss college football teams, and then 17, 18, 19 outside
Okay.
looking in starts crying about it. Well, what's the answer? 24?
So this is So this is where I think there's 2 reasons why I think they do this. Number 1, they're trying to duplicate or replicate March Madness, right? More teams, the better, make more meaningful game. So
A
to that
balanced
point,
bracket.
To that point, we have bitched about how bowl games have meant nothing. So just roll those what would otherwise be good bowl games normally and call it the college football playoff. And like maybe it's just, you're going to have your 5 automatics or whatever, and then you're going to have these 11 kind of,
honestly,
But at that point,
I think
now they mean something again.
Yeah, it brings a lot of value back to some of these bowl games.
Yeah, but what are the chances they're actually going to get rid of these bowl games? And to have this take place of that.
Well, they're not going to get rid of them.
those bowl
They're going to
games.
do just like they did. They're going to make the Sugar Bowl be, the semifinals.
Oh, he's talking about like the bowl games that no one watches.
Right, but
Are
I mean,
you saying
like
it'll
were,
replace that? Because they'll still have those.
But like
No,
we
of
watched
course.
meaningless bowl games because it was good team matchups. But when they devalued the bowl game, even good teams, because then there was no incentive for those guys to even play, right? Like guys would play in quote unquote meaningless bowl games where it didn't advance them to a championship because of the caliber of that game. But now it's like, oh, I didn't get into the college football playoff. Okay, I'm just going to sit. So now you've got, Florida State versus Georgia a couple years ago. Florida State sits everyone. It's not a good game.
Yeah.
Right? And they just missed the playoff.
'Cause
So they're
it's not-
bringing that meaning back to the game.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. It's not just more football; it's more meaningful football.
More meaningful football. So,
which I'm all for.
and
but
even if it's they create the illusion of importance, like right, like I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like you're adding a meaning to this to where it's
then
like
come up with a final number. Because I feel like if this is going to be a point of argument where, okay, we expand to 16, well, people still was pissed about that. Let's expand to 20, 24. Then fucking come up with 32.
Yeah.
And then no more.
I agree with you, Miguel.
there has to be.
I do think that 16 is it. You cannot go higher than 16.
And
with
you have to
football.
at least like sign like an extended deal on it, right? If you go
Yeah.
like, well, this is going to be a 5-year run here. We're not going to fuck around with this
Let's
every.
give 16 at least 10 years. Because let's be honest, the 17th best team in the country does not deserve
Yeah,
to have the
right,
chance to
yeah.
win
You just-
a national championship. And probably the 16th, 15th, yeah, I get it. They probably don't either. But there's always one of those teams, like a Coastal Carolina or like a BYU back in the day, or one of these teams that's in one of these smaller conferences. Cincinnati did it when they got in, but they're a little bit bigger, probably a bad example. But there's one of those teams that has one loss and they're having a historic season and they're like 15th. And it's like, yeah, let's get that fan base and that college involved when they didn't give a fuck about their football program for the last 60 years,
Yeah.
but they had this flash in the pan. Like I want those teams to have that,
I think they have
They
to
might
be,
get their ass handed
as
to
much
them.
as you want
Yeah,
to
who cares?
replicate March
But
Madness.
the one year they do it, they beat a Georgia
Yeah.
or whatever.
As much as you want to copy March Madness, it's so hard to replicate a structured tournament like that.
Yeah.
That you have, like, it is the number. It's like you have to be careful with the number. The reason March Madness works so well is they found a formula, and they have not changed that formula in fucking decades.
Yeah.
It works. But you can't just sit there as a college football committee and think, we want this to be as close to March Madness as possible. There's not enough football programs out there. It's almost a joke if you go more than 16, because then you're just rewarding 4-loss, 3-loss teams.
Yeah.
College needs a red zone so bad. I would absolutely kill to have
ESPN had it for a while. I forgot what it was called. But I remember one year watching something.
goal line or something weird
Yeah,
like that.
ESPN goal line, I'm pretty sure is what it was.
Hey, if I pulled that would be
I'm
great.
pretty sure that's what it was.
Look it up.
ESPN goal line.
But they did have one for a short while. In fact, I remember seeing something that they're talking about doing it again with Pat McAfee.
That would make more sense now that they're showing like the big primetime games on 2 channels.
Yeah, it was. They ran it from 2010 to 2019. I
How was it not successful
don't know.
that they had to stop? I mean, 9-year run is pretty good, but money.
Money.
Yeah, probably the TV packages.
I'm sure
changed,
that things
or
got a
TV
little
deals,
bit complicated too with
the
like
conferences,
Yeah.
realigning.
it's like what is ESPN going to be able to like pull the Fox feed or the CBS feed or
Yeah.
something? It would have to be
Yeah.
like wholly independent of.
It would be a streaming service that would pull this shit.
Yeah, it would have to be like Netflix.
Amazon, Netflix,
That that like doesn't have any other
direct affiliation.
production or
Hulu.
Right.
rights to it.
Well, yeah, because Amazon did that with like the NFL, Thursday Night Football and such. So, and it seems like they have a willing, an interest in it. So
Feels good talking about football though.
it does. How about that? Getting right back on the bike.
NBA shit, so I'm ready for football.
Yeah, fucking Pacers.
That's how it goes.
Fuck
What
Shai.
else do we got going on? Anything else? I don't know. It smells like. I mean, I've got dead rats.
You've got
in
dead
my
rats
walls,
in your
yeah,
house.
That's about it. So
Yeah,
it's that time of year. We're gonna be done here for the summer.
Oh,
here.
give me the ant killers.
I
Yeah,
passed my
okay.
test.
That's right.
I
Congratulations.
passed my test.
Mister.
They call me Mr. Insurance.
Mr. Insurance.
State.
We're
State
gonna have a new-
Farm. Jake from State Farm.
Yeah, we're gonna have a new presenting sponsor.
Famous.
You're gonna do a 5-minute pitch every time. Be like, this segment brought to you by Mr. Insurance.
And then I'm going to talk really fast at the end about all the...
Yeah.
Brax from
Remember after
Farmers. Just call Brax from Farmers.
Yeah.
That should be like my spiel.
It is funny.
Fuck Jake from State Farm. Call Brax from Farmers.
It is funny.
Or you can be Mayhem from Allstate.
Your soon-to-be boss was listening in on our conversation about your nerves heading into the test.
Oh, yeah?
So-
What did he have to say about that?
He just said that he heard it. He didn't have much else to say other than that.
Yeah. I mean, he is a man of many
Mark
words.
listen,
Yeah,
does Mark listen to every episode?
yeah, he does.
Okay, Mark, I'm Braxton's agent. So paperwork, salary, and benefits, it's all going to go through me.
Yeah, we do have to do that.
He also said,
I'm ready to play hardball, Mark.
He also said something like, it happens all the time that people have to It's not the end of the world, I think is what he said, if you have to retake it. So.
Well, I wish he would have said that before.
I mean, you passed. It's over.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
passed.
We want-
starting a new career. I'm your boy's growing up.
How about it?
Yeah.
We want a competitive base salary, a 6-year deal with New Balance, a 1-year supply of Capri Sun,
Yeah, I know, since we're...
at least 3 different flavors.
Yeah, we've got to get the Capri Sun or something, some knockoff.
Pacific Cooler.
Pedialyte. Huh?
Oh.
Yeah, that helps all of us.
God. Do we go from being sponsored by vodka to fucking Pedialyte?
Pepsid and Pedialyte.
Shit's changed.
Brought to you by Pepto-Bismol.
You're just really like teeing fucking keyboard warriors up when we go, oh yeah, we're sponsored by Tums and fucking Pedialyte. Well, maybe if you guys stop talking about In-N-Out so fucking much, you wouldn't
wouldn't
get,
need
you
any
wouldn't
of
get
that
fucking
stuff.
heartburn, you fat fucks.
Maybe put down the double, fatso. All right. Jesus
Surprise,
Christ.
surprise, they get everything animal style.
Full hearts. Full clogged hearts. Yeah. Clogged hearts.
My arteries. All right, is that it?
Hold on, that is pretty funny.
What?
When you go clear eyes, clogged hearts, and I just die.
Just
That's the new closing.
That if we ever get to a last episode, that will be.
I just like to think that the number 1 listener from fucking Germany or Singapore just goes, oh, will there be another episode? Or they all just croaked.
Guys.
we take a week off. People start searching for
Well,
us.
we have done that. We've taken a week off after.
Oh wait,
post-death.
that did happen.
We didn't record in honor of you because no one could replace you.
And then eventually
We ran
recorded.
interviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ran
We
interviews.
ran without you. So.
Well, clear eyes.
Clogged hearts.
Can't lose. Clogged hearts threw me off. I didn't know what my line was.
It was your idea.